Hi Eddie, I hear there's a big event coming up. Congratulations. I think your year is 1951. The year I was born, they sent up Sputnik and sort of scared the hell out of everybody. And I was just curious of what actually was happening in around 1951. So I'll try and go down through them quickly because I want to wish you a very, very happy birthday, by the way. Technology wise, direct dial coast to coast telephone service began in the US. Remember those days when you had to press button A and button B? The first colour television signals were broadcast from the Empire State Building. The classic television show I Love Lucy was launched on CBS on October 15th. Sort of events and non-events in Ireland. Well, the price of a pint in 1951 was 5p. Milk was 5.5p. Cigarettes was Craven A at 4.5p. Gardaí exchanged shots with two men in Dublin because they threw a bomb at the British Embassy. How about that one? Eamon de Valera, which was then Taoiseach, he paid his first visit in 25 years to Derry. The music artist of the year was Nat King Cole, Tony Bennett, Mario Lanza, Perry Como, Eddie Howard, Les Paul and Mary Flood, which came together, and Louis Armstrong, if you remember that far back. Well, you probably didn't, not when you're that small, no. The films, well, An American in Paris, that premiered in London in August, and The Day the Earth Stood Still was in September, New York. By the way, have a great 70th birthday, have a few pints, enjoy some great music, relax, and I would like to say at this stage, if you ever remember Mission Impossible, well, we'll deny this tape ever existed, number one, and number two is going to explode in 10 seconds. Have a great birthday, take care.
Happy birthday, Eddie. Hope you have a good 70th.
So reach that time again, Eddie, huh? 70 years, you wouldn't fucking believe it, huh? To look at you, I thought you were 80. Anyway, have the best of luck, Eddie, and have a great one. And remember, when you're cooking the breakfast and you're cracking the eggs, that you don't break Maureen's egg. Take care.
Right. Happy birthday, Eddie. Have a good one.
Oh yeah. This is on something to do with your birthday, happy birthday, etc. And no drinking. Do you remember the time we went down to New Ross? And Eddie asked Michael Grangel where's there a decent pub for old fellas? And he told us that he gave us a list of something like 96 different pubs in the feckin' town. And told us, don't go into this one, don't go into that one, don't go into this one, don't go into that one, because they're all young people in there. If they see you and they're bored, they'll beat the shite out of you. Anyway, we went into this pub, we seen this pub, and as we were going in, there was an elderly woman standing between the main door and the door into the actual pub itself. And she had a cigarette hanging off her lips, and she had half a pint of maybe, I don't know what it was, possibly Heineken. Anyway, Eddie went in to check out the pub to see was there young fellas in there or whatever, and the place was packed to the rafters. And he comes back out and he said something like, "No, we can't go in there, Bren. The place is packed with a low life, and they'll only pick on us," or something like that. And he said this as he passed out past the elderly woman with the cigarette hanging out of her mouth and a half a pint of, say, Heineken. But he didn't see what I seen. He then made a remark that anyway, the barman won't serve us because we're too old. And the elderly woman looked up from her pint and she opened her mouth in amazement because she knew she had to go back in to get maybe another pint. And she opened her mouth, the cigarette fell out of her mouth straight down into the Heineken. So two things happened there in that instant. I thought it was terribly funny. Two things had happened. one, the cigarette was gone, and two, she couldn't drink the rest of the pint either. That me and Eddie went down through New Ross breaking our shite laughing. I had to explain to Eddie why I was breaking my heart so much, and every so often we'd stop laughing down the street and we'd look back and she was still standing, staring down into her pint and her fucking wet cigarette in it. That's true. Oh, we often talk about it.
Hi Ed, greetings from Cyprus. Serena has asked us all to do a little celebration of and memories of you as our brother, and as I'm out here, but intending to come home next week. When Serena asks for a little video of memories, you know, really we have to go back to Allingham Street, and I've many memories of Allingham Street, and for you as, you know, the older brother, the only brother, and one was your pet, Snowy. Yes, you loved Snowy, and as a little girl, 7 years your junior, I had a doll's house, and I loved my doll's house. So we were packed off to bed nice and early, and you were allowed to stay up. And what did you do? Only let your mouse play and shit all over my lovely wooden doll's house. Needless to say, in the mornings I would be absolutely distraught, and I think eventually either Mum or Dad had words with you and put an end to your freedom with allowing Snowy the full run of my doll's house. You know, thinking of you again in Allingham Street, you were always up to devilment. And as kids, we were taken off to Rush, Skerries, Bettystown on Sundays. And on the way back, Mum and Dad would often stop at the Coachman's. And they would go in for their couple of drinks, and we kids would be waiting outside for our crisps and our Club Orange. And you used to get behind the wheel and release the handbrake and let the car roll. And we would be squealing in, you know, terror. And yeah, so even at that very young age, you were definitely into your cars. Speaking of cars, yeah, later you got a little car of your own. I think it was a Mini, and you crashed your Mini. You and I think one of the Kennys, one of the neighbours from across the way, and I remember looking down at you on the bed, and you were cut and bruised, and all Dad was ranting and raving was, those Kennys are going to sue you. I think you bumped over bollards, or you certainly shouldn't have been behind the wheel that time. Dad was very impatient with you, teaching you how to drive. And as a matter of fact, he was an absolute nightmare teaching me how to drive. I think his first lesson was a handbrake start on a hill. I remember getting out and just freaking it and screaming at him and so on. So I was very grateful when my big brother took over and taught me how to drive. Music. What can you say about you, Eddie, except music? Yeah, huge. Always was a huge part of your life. And I think between you and Una, you got a turntable, our first record player when we were in Allingham Street again. And I think we probably had about 2 records that just got played over and over. Maybe one of them was the Beatles. But moving on over the years, you used to spend a lot of your time ferreting around and foraging in record shops and coming across all kinds of bands that perhaps hadn't even made great, names for themselves, but were absolutely brilliant. So you certainly introduced us all to, an eclectic mix of music, for sure. It's not often I'm lost for words, but I just want to say it's great to celebrate. It's great to have this reunion. It's great to be here. And let's have many more happy times. And okay, Ed. So a great big happy birthday. And I know you don't want any big fuss or anything like that, but yeah, why not? you deserve to be fussed over. And many, many, many happy more. Love you, Ed. All right.
Hi, Eddie. I can't wait to see you next week and wish you a happy birthday in person. But honestly, just want to say what a special brother you are. You've been absolutely amazing. We've been through a lot together, you and me, and I'm sure you have with your other sisters as well. But, you know, we do go back a long way from when we were teenagers and really into music and got our first record player and ran down to Patrick Street or wherever it was to the second-hand record shop and bought our first LPs, Them and Them Again, which we absolutely loved and played non-stop. And then, of course, I moved to London, and some years later, you came to London and stayed with me for a while, and then moved into your attic room with Miss Rubuffy, the landlady. I remember her name. And we bought a car together, do you remember? For £95, £47.50 each. And then you taught me to drive in that car, a Hillman Minx. And we had it for a good year and a half, and then some idiot crashed into it, and that was the end of that. And then, of course, after a number of years in London, you went back to help Mum and Dad in the shop, and that was just fantastic. Eddie, I just want you to have a wonderful birthday and one to remember, and want you to know how much we all love you, value you, and appreciate just every single day that we know you're there. And love you, Eddie, and a very, very happy birthday, and wish you many, many, many more years ahead that we can all share together. And anyway, Eddie, I'll sign off. Love you loads and see you soon. Bye.
Good morning, Eddie. It's Saturday. It's literally a week before your birthday, and I can't wait to see you. I was looking and thinking about what to say on this video, and thinking about a poem, and I always go to John O'Donoghue when I'm looking for inspiration. I found this poem, and it's quite deep, but it's a very beautiful poem, I think, and I'd like to read it to you. And it's actually called For Your Birthday. Blessed be the mind that dreamed the day the blueprint of your life would begin to glow on earth, illuminating all the faces and voices that would arrive to invite your soul to growth. Praise be to your father and mother who loved you before you were, and trusted to call you here with no idea who you would be. Blessed be those who have loved you into becoming who you were meant to be. Blessed be those who have crossed your life with dark gifts of hurt and loss that have helped to school your mind in the art of disappointment. When desolation surrounded you, blessed be those who looked for you and found you, their kind hearts urgent to open a blue window in the grey wall formed around you. Blessed be the gifts you never notice, your health, eyes to behold the world, thoughts to countenance the unknown, memory to harvest vanished days, your heart to feel the world's waves, your breath to breathe the nourishment of distance made intimate by earth. On this echoing day of your birth, may you open the gift of solitude in order to receive your soul. Enter the generosity of silence, to hear your hidden heart. Know the serenity of stillness, to be enfolded anew by the miracle of your being. Ed, you're more than a brother. You're a very, very special friend, and I love you absolutely dearly, and can't wait to celebrate and to see you and to give you the biggest hug, because yes, it's your birthday and it's a day to celebrate you and this very, very special milestone. So can't wait to see you next week. Love you loads.
first thing I want to say is a big happy birthday, Ed, on your special day. Fantastic to reach this milestone in your life. My memories of you as a brother is one of thinking it was fantastic to have a brother in a family of all sisters. I really enjoyed having you as a brother, and you were a big influence on my life, especially in the field of music. I think my musical taste started with your influence when I was old enough to appreciate music. I can recall the many days when you would buy an album or single and you were so excited to play them and ask me for my opinion. Generally speaking, I liked them as well. You had a great feel for music and what would be successful or what wouldn't. I remember when you played Bohemian Rhapsody when it was first came out, and we both said it would be a worldwide hit. How right we were. I also recall the many concerts we went together as well, outdoor and indoor, particularly going to the stadium, the Phoenix Park, Blackrock Park. Finally, I would like to say that you've been a brilliant brother and I love you dearly. Happy birthday and hope you have a very memorable day on the 14th.
Ed, thanks for all the years or whatever, you know. We've had a good many years of it, you know. And happy good ones. Big happy 70th birthday, you know. Hopefully you'll have many more. Let's celebrate tomorrow with a nice big, what do you call it? A cake and a bottle of wine and whatever, you know.
Alright, happy belated birthday, bud. It's your favourite kid in Oz here. Hope they're looking after you back home. And I'm sure there's a gargle and good music on the agenda. You're a good man for the old tunes. You have a musical library in your head. You'll have to preserve your head and your brain in a jar. Fucking for future study. And you're not bad for the old general knowledge either. Could ask you anything growing up and you'd have an answer for it. Which means either you're a genius or you're making it all up. Either way it's appreciated. And we're going to more gigs when we get home, 100%. We've been to some top ones together. Band of Horses, How Girl, legendary Booker T, the old Blues Fest with Eamon. So yeah, we'll make sure of making a point of going to a lot more when we get home. And yeah, shout out to Serena and Keith for putting this together, even though I left it a little bit late, testing Keith's editing skills. Yeah, you're not bad for an old egghead. Love you, Dad, and happy belated 50th, yeah?
Just doing a bit of light reading. Happy birthday, Dad. 70 years old. Jesus. You don't look a day over 65. Now, at the risk of this video being an hour long, I'll try and keep my part a bit brief, and I'll talk about something you're probably the most familiar with, and that's music, of course. More specifically, the weird and wonderful gigs we've gone to and experienced over the years, with my personal highlights being Primordial in the Academy, which is one of the few proper heavy metal experiences I've had. Seeing an electrical piano performance in the National Concert Hall, seeing Tori Amos and the Australian Pink Floyd in the Olympia, and the countless amounts of bands we've seen in Whelan's throughout the years. And basically how your weird taste in music has also helped shape my weird taste in music and exposed me to a lot of bands and genres that I might not have otherwise heard about or given the time of day. Now, the live music industry might be at a halt at the moment, but I'm sure in the near horizon we'll have plenty more bands to discover and experience soon enough. And yeah, I just want to say again, happy birthday, and to lots more experiences in the future. See you now. And I wasn't actually reading this.
Happy 70th birthday, Da. Can you believe you're 70? You're an old man. Some of my favourite memories with you are from childhood, and when you used to bring me and Alan on day trips at the weekend, bring us to the park, bring us to Hout, Skerries, climb Brayhead. Another memory I have is going to Crow Park for the Dublin matches, and then getting to go to Quinn's in the big tree for a pint when I got older. Also, when you'd accompany me to drive, you weren't the best passenger, but it was a good experience, I guess. Anyways, have a good birthday. Enjoy.
A massive happy birthday, Eddie, and this one's an especially happy one, not only because it's a milestone year, but because we get to celebrate it with you in person after a year and a half of uncertain times. Ever since Serena introduced us about 15 years ago, we got on like a house on fire, which I'll forever be grateful for. And like so many other people who've met you and connected with you over the years, from the get-go we had a connection over a shared love of music and attended a gig or 10 over the last 15 years. I don't know what it is about music that connects people, but there's something magic in it, I think. Some highlights that stand out to me over the last 15 years would be like the time you brought me out in the car when I was learning to pass my driving test, or that time I was in Canada and I rang you to ask for your permission to marry Serena.
Keith, absolutely, 1,000%.
Thanks a million, Eddie. It means a lot to me.
1,000%, Keith. Fair play to you.
Which was an extremely nerve-wracking phone call, but you were brilliant as always, and I really appreciate that. I was also so happy to be able to have yourself and Maureen come visit us in Canada, and we got to show you around our home away from home. Hopefully there'll be more times like that in the future. So let's have a drink and a sing-song on your day, and in the words of Damo, we'll sing all our cares away, and we'll live to fight another day. La Breha, son of ditch. Happy birthday, Eddie.
Happy birthday, Dad, from your first and favourite child. Don't worry, I'll still keep it a secret. I just wanted to acknowledge this amazing milestone that you have reached, 70 years of age. Remember, it's a privilege to grow old. Not everyone gets to reach their next birthday, so it's important that we celebrate, which is why we're all getting together for a bit of a shindig this weekend. But I just wanted to take some time just to share some of my fondest memories and how you have helped impact, or the impact you've had on my life. So yeah, let's start with childhood. I mean, yeah, I remember like going to bed, you'd always read us William Wordsworth, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, and Enid Blyton. Yep, always remember those. And then when I was, when I'd have dinners, you'd always congratulate me after I finished a massive plate of food, which I still do to this day. There's no food waste in this house. I always remember blasting mad music in the car, like it'd be like literally drown out all of us, and I hated it at the time, but now I actually appreciate a lot of that music that you used to play, especially the Beatles. I now love the Beatles. So yeah, you got me my first ever job in Arnott's. Absolutely loved Arnott's. It was probably some of my favourite working years. 3 years in there. I would have stayed longer. And who would have thought that I'd meet some of my best friends and Keith there, my future husband. So yeah, such an incredible place to work, and I was always known as Eddie O'Reilly's daughter in there. If anyone found out who I was, like, I felt like I was a celebrity's daughter in Arnott's. Everyone just had the best things to say about you. They all loved you in there, and so I tried to be as nice as you were to people in there as well. I had to live up to the name. Yeah, but absolutely loved my years in there, so thank you for introducing me to Arnott's. You also taught me how to drive. Yeah, I think I was 20 20 or 21, can't remember at the time. But you taught me how to drive just before going to Australia. I really wanted to get the license. I did a year, was insured on the car with you. You're always so patient with me and made me feel comfortable in the car and really built up my confidence in that year. But I was really confident going for the test until I did a pre-test beforehand. I thought I was a brilliant driver until the driving instructor was like, who have you been practicing with and when did they last take their test? I had picked up all of your bad habits, such as like looking over my shoulder, reversing, and keeping my hand on the gear stick, that sort of stuff when I was driving. So I had to break a year long worth of those habits in like a week or something like that, but I passed the test. So it paid off. Passed the test first time round too, so thank you for that as well. No doubt a few people have spoken about your love and your knowledge for music. It is incredible. I don't think I know anyone else that knows as much about music and such random things about music as you do. But what I appreciate most and what's really inspired me most is your passion for it. It's infectious and it's really helped me to try and find my passion in life, which I have, which is nutrition, and turning that into a career. So I try and kind of aspire to be like you and have that passion for nutrition as you have for music. Your positivity and your ability to look on the bright side of life is like a superpower. It's something I look up to. It's something that I try to incorporate into my day-to-day life, and I try and look at the bright side of things, and if anything goes wrong, okay, what's the worst that can happen and how can we turn it into a positive? And it's just, it's something that's really had a major impact on me and something that I've really looked up to about you. Because you don't find it in enough people. So it's something that I definitely try to work on a lot. And I think in general, if I was ever feeling a bit down or if I was ever doubting myself, you're always the person to, cheer me up, make me feel better. You always had nice things to say, always made me look at all the things that I have achieved, as opposed to focusing on the things that I haven't yet. So again, that's something I try to really work on, focusing on a lot more now too. But I'll keep it to that, because I know I've been blabbing on for a while now. But I look up to you, Dad, and I appreciate you so much, and I love you loads. Happy 70th birthday. Here's to 80, 90, and possibly even 100 if you follow all of my health tips and incorporate all those good foods and healthy lifestyle. Let's celebrate in style this weekend and have some fun. So enjoy.